take your side every time.
Who's this?
Well, didn't we already have a countdown?
Well, we've got another countdown.
Oh, God.
Oh my God! Number 8, it's
Hey, my name is Julian Alirez, and for exactly 1 year, I have officially been a professional wrestler. Looking back on this year, I gotta say, what a crazy ride it's been so far. First off, I became a wrestler the same year my GOAT retired. I had a lot of fun matches with some great opponents. I've made a lot of friendships along the way, made some great memories, and I've really learned a lot, not just about wrestling, but about myself. That shy kid who was too afraid to speak up in front of his classmates is now strutting around in his undies slamming people in front of complete strangers. It's funny how things change. The world is constantly changing. People, things, it's the natural state of life, and that's a good thing, because with change comes growth. And I've realized I've grown a lot this past year. Not just my hair, but a lot of little things, like how I carry myself. Sure, maybe I'm nowhere near where I thought I'd be by now. I'm not wrestling every weekend, having 30-minute Tokyo Dome level bangers like I thought I'd be, but you can't rush the good things. And I'm confident enough to know that with a little patience and a lot of hard work, I will be there sooner or later. I just gotta trust the process. And now that freshman year is over, we'll see where I end up this time next year. But before we talk about the future, let's rewind a little bit. The day was February 8th, 2025. I was in the midst of getting ready to make my professional wrestling debut, and to say that I was nervous would be an absolute understatement. I was absolutely freaking out since I found out I was wrestling. I was shaking that morning, I was nail biting, I was fidgeting, and then when I got to the building, I was low-key having a panic attack. Every negative thought you could possibly have was flowing through my mind. I felt my heart sink over and over at just the thought of just absolutely embarrassing myself, and a part of me wished I could just kind of skip through to the after. But despite that, after taking some deep breaths, chugging a monster or two, I thought about it a little bit more. After almost 8 months of preparation, I knew I had put the work in, and I had the trust of my trainers and coaches to be in this position in the first place. And just knowing that kind of put my mind at ease. And so, I was ready. And how did that match go? Yeah, I got absolutely smoked. Sure, it didn't go the way I thought it would, but it was a win in a lot more ways. It was a huge first step, a milestone in my career, and I am glad that I decided to chase this dream. Chasing dreams. Now that's a funny term we as a society have come up with, because in reality it's boring. Work, school, dealing with insurance companies, we all just want to live whatever life we seek. But one of the most important things I learned this past year was that dreaming, it can only get you so far. Dreams don't just become reality overnight, and no amount of ambition, motivation, or planning is going to make it happen. The only way for you to make it a reality is just by doing it. That might sound simple on paper, but It's one of the hardest things to do. A lot of people don't even dare take the first step, whether it be due to fear, doubt, trauma, current life situations, circumstances. There's a number of valid reasons we all just kind of accept, and because of that, dreams are pushed to the side, never to see the light of day. And for a bit, that was going to be me. I was okay with pushing this dream to the side to live a content life. But sometimes life has other plans, things change, canon events occur, and that spark gets ignited. And for me, one of the catalysts that lit that flame was the Dark Souls series. If you don't know what the Dark Souls series or any Soulsborne game is, they basically are these hard games you go through, leveling up your character, going from level to level, dealing with enemies, puzzles, and all sorts of random unfair bullshit. But the main attraction in these games are the boss fights. Some of the best boss fights of all time come from this franchise, and truthfully, I didn't really even expect to make it that far into the first game, let alone the whole series. Starting off in this unfamiliar land, it's intimidating to say the least. You don't know where to go, you struggle with the first couple areas with basic enemies and sub-bosses, and sometimes you stumble into areas far ahead of your current level, and you die. A lot. But with each encounter, each death, you learn something. And so, after a couple hundred or 1,000 of attempts, you tend to kind of figure it out. These aren't the hardest games out there, but there's a level of commitment you have to put in just to make it through. And the point I'm trying to make to relate this to how I started wrestling was that I didn't think it was possible for me to complete this series. Millions of people have played these games, but a lot of people just kind of give up after the first couple bosses. Not many actually commit to complete the game. And just the fact that I managed to go through them, that gave me a sense of accomplishment. Something that, sadly, my whole life I never really got that feeling. There was something so satisfying about setting out a goal and actually accomplishing it. I never really did that in most of my everyday life. It was my first taste of what it was like to actually do something.
Oh, you're running.
Damn, dude, we got him too, is the best part. You know what I mean? We fucking got him too. Shit. We had his ass.
Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Oh my god, I did it!
Oh my god, that rage, right?
I'm impressed. That was good.
Quest done.
I didn't want to scare you with the firecrackers, but that was a viable thing.
That was my last attempt too. I got off.
He's gonna get back up.
Dang, okay. Sekiro gone.
Oh my god. I feel so amazing now.
Sekiro's.
It was the hardest game this entire time.
Do you know where they are, Cam?
Now, I know a lot of you might judge me and say video games are a waste of time, but for me, they weren't at all. This was a bigger lesson than just how to beat the game. I took it as a sign and asked myself, what would happen if I finally just committed? I'm someone who always suffered from self-doubt and lack of confidence pretty much my whole life. And I've always been my own worst enemy. What if I fail? What if I struggle? What if I don't know where I'll end up? Those what ifs always plagued my mind, and due to that, I grew a fear of committing. But after playing Dark Souls, I feel like it changed my perspective. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna struggle. And I don't really know where I'm gonna end up. But instead of discouraging me, for some reason now, that excites me. Because if you just went through the game with no challenges, there would be no fulfillment or sense of achievement. But it's because of those failures, all those times I died and kept coming back, every little milestone, every boss I beat, every NPC I met along the way. It was a culmination of everything that made it worth it. And after I beat these games, I took a moment of reflection. What am I doing with my life? Why don't I ever commit? Is there any reason why I can't do anything? And the truth is, there wasn't really a good answer to any of those. And deep down, I always wondered what it would look like to see the answer for myself. And so I had to make a decision. Do I want to stop being a dreamer and finally commit for once in my life? So in the end, Dark Souls helped inspire me to start wrestling, and I will forever hold those games in my heart because of the impact it had on me. Now, that was my catalyst. For anyone, it could be anything. Anime, sports, art, music. Maybe you had that one thing that sparked your flame. And maybe you're asking yourself, should I chase my dreams? And here I sit, 2 years later after making that decision. And so far, not a single regret. Sure, I'm not there just yet, but this channel is about documenting that journey. And just like you, I'm someone who was absolutely terrified to start this. But here I am. So, if you want to chase your dreams, here's some advice I would give myself 2 years ago. And who knows, maybe this advice will help me again in the future. If you don't try, you'll learn nothing. Trust me when I say failure is the best teacher. Don't be afraid to go out there, make mistakes. It's going to happen regardless. The important thing is that if you fail, you can sit there and sulk, but you should pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go again, and use that loss as a lesson. Trust me, it is way harder than it sounds, but once you can use failure as a teacher, you already have an advantage over others, and you should always give your best effort. It's an insult to yourself and all the hard work you've put in to do anything less. Now, sure, maybe you can't control the outcome, but you can always control the output. Remember the important ones. You're gonna meet a lot of people along the way, but the real ones, they're gonna stick with you. Whether you succeed or fail, those are the people that matter. But there's gonna be people who try to discourage you, tear you down. There's gonna be people who don't see any worth in you. And that's absolutely okay, because those people were never there for you in the first place. So don't even bother wasting your time on them. Surround yourself with people who are only going to bring the best out of you. And always make sure to make time for family, because you never know what could happen. Live the moment. You only get one first match, you only get one first impression, you only get one life. So be present. Don't worry about what others think or how you'll be judged. Just enjoy the moment. This is one that, as I get older, I'm starting to really appreciate things, no matter how little they may seem. And you can't rush to the good stuff either. Sure, there's going to be bad moments where you get ragdolled, kicked in the face, come up short, or just be frustrated. But if you just skip through those tough times, the good times and the good moments wouldn't feel as good. Have fun, be yourself. I promise this is the best way to live life in general. It's exhausting pretending to be someone you're not. Whoever you are, whatever you stand for, stay true to that. You don't need to please anyone, just do things for you. Discipline over everything. Motivation is going to come and go. It's important to know your priorities and have the discipline to do what needs to be done. Sure, maybe you don't want to go to work one day, but those bills aren't going to pay themselves. And same thing goes for wrestling. Sure, maybe I don't want to work out today, but there's thousands of people who are doing it. What makes you the exception? So, do what needs to be done. Now that you've listened to me yap this entire time, and if you even take one thing I said to heart, that's all I could ask for. I'm still on my own journey, and I don't really know if one day everything will work out the way I hope. But that's the beauty of it. We're gonna find out together. I'm gonna have my ups, I'm gonna have my downs, and you guys are gonna see it all. And so, I wish you all luck on your own journeys, and I will see y'all in the next one. So, yeah. Peace for now.